Hello students, my name is Ranjita. I am your science teacher. Today we are going to discuss with the first chapter of your syllabus and it is the very easiest chapter also. Okay, the first chapter of the syllabus we are going to discuss with the natural resources. This is your first chapter. You know that in your science you have so many lessons to complete, right? For you, for mainly for the 8th standard, you have the so many lessons to complete. And also if you see the lessons number is more, but if you see the lesson concept and the lesson weightage, it is very less. The small lessons, they kept it in the one chapter. Okay, no need to worry that you have so many lessons to complete, but it are the very interesting and also very easiest one. Okay, now we are going to start with our first chapter, that is natural resources. Okay, the chapter name is natural resources. What is this natural resources? Ma'am, we heard this name, the natural resources. But we don't know the exact definition of the natural resources. But we heard this, ma'am, right? This is your answer. Ma'am, in last year or in the back of the years, we learned the concept of the natural resources, but we can't form the new perfect definition for this one. What are these natural resources, ma'am? If you tell what are these natural resources, first we want to know the definition of the natural resources. First, we want to know what is exactly the natural resources. If you see the definition of the natural resources, what is the definition of natural resources means? The presence of living and non-living material. The living and non-living substances togetherly in the nature. The presence of living and non-living things present in the nature are known as natural resources. What are natural resources? The presence of living and non-living. The presence of living and non-living substances. The presence of living and non-living substances in nature is known as natural resources. This is known as the natural resources. One more time I tell the definition. What is natural resources? What is natural resources means? The presence of living and non-living things present in nature are known as natural resources. If you see the natural resources, I said that both the living things should also present and also the non-living resources also present. The presence of the living resources and the non-living resources in the nature is known as natural resources. Therefore, the natural resources is divided into two types. Firstly, the natural resources is divided into the two types. First is living resources and the second one is the non-living resources. First, we want to know about the definition of the natural resources. What is this natural resources? The presence of living and non-living, both. The presence of both living and non-living things in the nature is known as the natural resources. Okay, in the natural resources, there are two types. One is the living resources and another one is the non-living resources. You can ask that one, ma'am, natural means nature. What is the meaning of resources? What is this resources? If you see that what is natural resources means, if you see first, the natural means nature. Resources means the useful things. Okay, if you see in your school, what are the resources you have means, you can tell that we have the good library, we have the good benches, we have the good seating arrangement, we have the good faculties. These all are the resources of your school. That is what are the abilities? What are the abilities of your school? What are the usage? Why we are going to add to your school? This is your usefulness. Like that, some of the substances are present in the nature that we are using so much, right? Resources. Okay? Resources means useful things that are present in the nature. If you see what is natural resources, the resources, the useful things, what are the useful things that present in the nature are known as the natural resources. Understood the meaning of the natural resources? Okay, I said that the natural resources is divided into the two types. One is living resources and another one is the non-living resources. These are the two types of resources. What are the two types of resources? One is the living resources and another one is the non-living resources. What is this living resources? What is this living resources? What is the meaning of living resources? Living means living resources. And what is this non-living resources? Living resources is nothing but which has life in it. The resources which have the life, living thing, livingness in that resources. If any of the livingness or any of the living things that present in the resources, that type of the resources are known as living resources. What is living resources? In the resources, if any the living thing, living organisms, maybe living things are present in the resources, then that type of the resources are known as living resources. If you see in the living resources, there are two types. It's divided into the two. One is of the forest and then one is of the wildlife. If you see the forest, in the forest, so many trees, so many wide varieties of the trees, plants, fungi, algae, so many things is present in that forest. They are living, right? They are living things. That's why we call that forest in the living resources. After if you see in the wildlife is nothing but all the types of varieties. If you see the wildlife of our country, just where I am talking about our country, we have the extraordinary wildlife sources. We have almost all kind of animals in them. Not only the, if you see only the lion, tiger, not like that. You have so many wide types of varieties of animals are present in India. Okay, maybe now you understood that what is living resources. What is living resources? The resources in which living material or living particles or living things, so many types you can tell, is known as living resources. In living resources, I said there are two types, not the two, we have categorized into the two. That is, one is of the forest and another one is of the wildlife. One is of the forest and another one is of the wildlife. After, if you see, I said that living resources and non-living resources. If you come to the non-living resources, what are these non-living resources? Means non-living. Living means it has the life. Non-living things. In the resources, if more amount of the non-living things are present, that type of the resources are known as non-living resources. What are the non-living resources? Can you tell that? What are the non-living resources? So many examples you can tell, which doesn't have the living thing in that. Livingness is known as the non-living resources. In non-living resources, again it divided into the renewable resources and non-renewable resources. These are the two types of resources of non-living things. What are the non-living resources? In the non-living resources, you have the two types. One is of the renewable and another one is the non-renewable. What is this renewable? What is this non-renewable? What can you tell that renewable and non-renewable? If you say, what is this renewable resources means? That resources we can use continuously. There is no full stop for that resources. Okay, we can use continuously. If the resources can use continuously, then also it cannot be over. That type of the resources are known as renewable resources. Thus, the resources which doesn't have any full stop. Okay, what is renewable resources? The resources which doesn't have any full stop for that. That type of the renewable. That is, we can using. We can use so many types. That type of the resources are known as renewable resources. Best example for the renewable resources: solar light. Solar light, the extreme power of the energy. Okay, the extreme power of the energy is known as the solar light. That is of the renewable resources, solar energy. Wind energy also we can call it as the renewable resources. So, but water we can't tell as an renewable resources. Why? On continuous usage of the water, one or other day it can be completed. Therefore, it not come in the renewable. You can ask that ocean water. Yeah, ocean water you can take it as a renewable resources. Why it cannot end up? Okay, nowadays at this situation, the ocean water will not end up. One day or one other day, it may be stop also. The ocean water also get buried. Okay, the ocean water is also some years if you continue this one, you see that. Okay, some of the oceans are get buried. Some of the oceans are get buried. Okay, this ocean water is also one day again it comes to the non-renewable resources only. But now till we can consider it as the ocean water as the renewable resources. And I said that come to the non-renewable resources. What is this non-renewable resources means? If you are going to use these resources, one or another day it will be completely over. Okay, it gets stopped or it can be completely finished. Best example for the non-renewable resources: minerals, fossil fuels. These are some of the best example for the non-renewable resources. Right? The minerals and the fossil fuels will complete it one or another one day. If you take the example of the gold, okay, you just ask your parents or you just ask them for their parents. They use the gold to, they didn't use like now what we are using only for the ornaments. Like that they didn't use. They use the gold in the form of the coins. Okay, now what we are using the rupees to get purchase something, right? They are using the gold coins. Okay, gold coins to further purchasing. See, in that day how much the gold is getting, right? How easily the gold will get in. But if you see nowadays, if you just heard that just 15 to 20 years back, if you just not go more back of your father, your grandfather or grandmother, just take the time of your parents, okay, when they are child. Ask them that, can you tell what is the gold price of you when you are in the child age? They will tell that it may be around 350 to 400 rupees per gram. Okay, in their child time. It should at least around 350, exactly take 500. Okay, take them at the 500 rupees. 500 rupees per gram. Now what is the gold rate? Per gram, it is 5,000, nearly 5,000 rupees. Nearly 5,000 rupees. Today's cost 5,000 rupees. When your parents in the child time, they got 10 grams of gold. But now 1 gram of the gold will come. Why? Due to the lack of gold mining. Okay, due to the presence of the gold in the minerals, like a minerals is get decreasing. That's why always the non-renewable resources have the cost of the non-renewable resources are get increased. Not only for the minerals, not only for the gold. If you see the fossil fuel, okay, if you see the fossil fuel also, if you ask just how you are asked that what is the gram, what is the rate of the gold per gram when you are child, just ask that what is the rate of petrol and diesel when you are child. They will tell that maybe 35, 38 in that range. Nowadays, what is the rate of the fossil fuels? It reaches to 89, 90. Some of the time it reaches 100 also. Why? The rate goes on increasing due to the lack of their resources. Okay, we have so many resources. First, for the fossil fuels, if you see, we get the fossil fuels so easily. But nowadays, the fossil fuels are not getting quickly. We want to do some extra thing to get that fossil fuels. Okay, that's why always the non-renewable resources amount will also goes on increasing. Understood the two types of non-living resources. One is of the renewable resources and another one is of the non-renewable resources. Renewable means it can be used continuously, that are known as the renewable resources. What is non-renewable resources? At one particular time or on one particular situation, it will be end. You get resources as the end, that are known as the non-renewable resources. If you see, I said that for the non-renewable resources, the best examples are the minerals and fossil fuels. Okay. Again, this renewable resources, that means you can continuously, you can use, I said, that type of resources will divided into the inexhaustible resources and existable resources. Again, it divided into the inexhaustible resources and existable resources. What is this inexhaustible resources and existable resources? You can only tell the definition. If you see the example, you can tell the definition. What is inexhaustible and existable resources? Inexhaustible means it doesn't have any completeness. You can use for the so many times. That is known as the inexhaustible resources. What is that existable resources? It exists. Wildlife and the forest. Okay, it exists only at the particular time. That means if you see so many deforestation is going on. Okay, due to the deforestation, all the forest will go on existable. All the forest will go on. Another day you want to see the forest only in the zoo, or you want to go to see the forest only in the parks only. That you want to see the wide varieties of the plants and wide varieties of the living organisms. You want to see in only the zoo and biological parks. Why this happened? This has happened due to the deforestation. Hope you understand what is inexhaustible and existable resources. This is how the natural resources are classified. One more time, I just tell the classification of the natural resources. If you see the classification of the natural resources, the natural resources is first divided into the living and non-living resources. Natural resources is divided into the living and non-living resources. Again, this living resources is divided into the two types. One is forest and another one is the wildlife. Again, this non-living resources is divided into the renewable and non-renewable resources. The non-renewable resources is divided into the minerals and fossil fuels. Renewable resources is divided into the inexhaustible and existable resources. This is how the classification of the natural resources takes place. I hope you understand clearly the classification of natural resources. If you are understand clearly the natural resources, now we are going to discuss with the next concept. The first important concept, that is of the water. If you heard the name of the water, what you get in your mind? Water. If you just heard the name of the water, what are the things that get into your mind? What are the things you get it into your mind? You can tell that, ma'am, the water is colorless, it is odorless. Yeah, you can tell, right? The water is colorless, water is odorless, water is tasteless, and water is transparent. Water is liquid. It is a state of water. That means you can tell that the state of the water is liquid. And another one important thing, we can tell that the water is the universal solvent. right? What is the meaning of that? Water is the universal solvent. What is the meaning of that? Water is universal solvent. Why we called water as an universal solvent? Okay, because why we are going to call the water as the universal solvent means, if you see that the water can dissolve almost all everything in it, right? It dissolves mud, it dissolves soil, it dissolves all the solute, it dissolves sugar, salt, almost all everything is dissolved in water, right? Some of the categories, yes, it is not dissolved in the water, but almost all the particles are dissolved in water. Is it right or wrong? Almost all the particles are dissolved in water, right? That's why we considered as the water as the universal solvent. If they ask what are the characteristics of the water, you want to tell that the water is colorless, water is tasteless, water is odorless, water is a transparent liquid, and the water is also called as an universal solvent. If you see the full earth, if you see the earth, almost all 97% of the earth consists of the seawater only, right? Almost all 97, if you consider the water percentage of the earth, if it is 100%, okay, if it 100% is present in the earth, you consider that in the 100% of the water, the 97%, okay, I'm telling that in the 100%, the 97% of the water, okay, is of the ocean water. The 97% of the water is of the ocean water. Then remaining, it is not used, right? The ocean water, can you drink? Can you drink the ocean water? No. Can you use the ocean water for any other purposes? No, right? You can't use it for, did you use that water in for the agricultural field? No. You can use it for in the industrial field? No. We can't use it, right? We can't use the water for the agriculture, that sea water. I am discussing about the sea water. We can't use the sea water for the agriculture, and also we can't use the sea water for the industrial purposes. You can say that, man, nowadays we are using that sea water for the some industrial purposes. Yes, we are using. If you see in the Vishakhapatnam, they converted the ocean water into the useful water. They have the capacity, they have the resources like that. They are going to convert the ocean water. They are going to convert that ocean water into the useful water. That we can do by using some of the chemicals or by using the some of the physical process. Okay, by using the some of the physical process or by using the some of the chemical reactions, they are going to convert the ocean water into the useful water. Okay, that we can do. If you see that I said that the 97% of the whole world, that is your earth, is consists of the ocean water. But only 0.001%. Okay, only the 0.001% we are you have the useful water. In the 100%, 97% it consists of the ocean water, and only 0.001% we have the useful water. That is drinkable water. Drinking water. Okay, only how much percentage of the drinking water is there? You have only 0.001% of the drinking water is present. Understood? 0.001% of the drinking water is present for the your purpose. And also some other water is also present, not exactly the drinking water. You have the waters that present in the rivers, ponds, lakes, okay, falls. You are it also having the so much of the waters is present in that stream also. Okay, remaining that part, that is of the 2.89 or 2.67, like that, the part of the water is present in the rivers, lakes, ponds, falls. Like that, you have the water distribution. And if you see, we using the water for which purpose we are using the water, for which purpose we are using the more number of water? We are using water for which purpose? More number of water we are going to use. We are going to use the water for the agricultural purpose, right? For the agriculture only we are going to use the much amount of the water. If you see overall 80%. If you see that overall 80% of the water, 80% of water, not that 97% ocean water. We are not using the ocean water for agriculture. What remaining 3%? Okay, what we are remaining the 3% of water. In that 3% of water, consider it in that in the 100, in the 80% we are using only for the agriculture. Can you tell where in the Karnataka, which is the state, which is the district which we are doing so much of agriculture? So much of agriculture. They depend only on the agriculture. Mysore stream, right? Mysuru, Ramnagar, Mandya. Like this, the stream where you get the more amount of water due to the presence of the KRS. Okay, due to the presence of the KRS in that districts, they are used to more agriculture. They are growing the more crops compared to any other region. If you come with the district like Tumkuru, Chitradurga, that side, what happens? The water level is not that more. Due to that, they are not growing the crops more. Only this region where in the place of Chikmagaluru, Shivamogga, like that, the water bodies are more. Where the water bodies are more, we are going to aggregate. Agricultural things are more in that places. Now you understood about the water. Okay. And also if you see that, not only the useful things of the water, you can see the water pollution also, the concept of water pollution. What is this water pollution? Is any other non-living particles are going to do the water pollution? No. We are the human beings. We are throwing the non-living things to the water. We are using so much of, we throw the plastics to the water. Due to the throwing of plastic to the water, the aquatic life get damaged. You just see it. Okay, just see it. You are using so many mobiles, right? You are using mobiles. You just go through it one time. What we are going to throw the plastic into the water. What are the effects? Okay, what are the effects that what we are going to throw the plastic to the water? There's so much of water pollution comes. Some of the aquatic elements are suffering from this one. Okay, so many aquatic animals are going to suffer from this water pollution. Not only of throwing the plastic to the water is the water pollution. We are going to leave the domestic waste what we are going to throw into the drainage water to the directly into the seas. Or we directly throw the drainage water to the river and the industrial areas. They are not going to purify the drainage water of the industries. They also throw into the rivers and waters. What happens to that aquatic life of that river? It completely damaged. It completely buried. Okay, this is about of the water and water pollution. After going to study with the water and water pollution, now we are going to discuss with the soil. This is also the one of the important natural resources. Okay, if you see for the soil, soil is also the one of the important natural resources. What is this important natural resources? Soil, what we are going to discuss with the soil. Okay, everything we want to discuss. If you see the soil is containing of the rich in minerals. Okay, it has minerals, it has proteins, everything. And ma'am is telling that it has proteins. Do you want to eat soil? No, not like that. The proteins are present for the growing of the crops. Okay, fertilizers. We are going to use some of the fertilizer to enrich the quantity of the soil. Everything we do to enrich the quantity of the soil, right? If consider that some of your former children are there, you can understand that. If you are going to grow the crops, okay, if you are going to grow the crops, first what the farmers do means, first they take the soil from the respective area and they will give it to the soil test. After getting the good result or after getting the good positive result from that soil test, then only they are going to grow the crops. Otherwise, if you are grow the crops also, the crop yield will not come good, or otherwise some of the bacteria or some of the things destroy the crops. That's why we want to see the pH level of the soil, and also we are going to see the fertility level of the soil. Okay, we are going to see the fertility level of the soil, and also we want to see the pH level of the soil. After that, I written as the salinization. What is this salinization? Why it is causes? What is salinization? If you see that what is salinization means, it is caused by the rise in the water. It is caused by the rise in the water tables. Okay, that it is rise in the water tables when water enters into the soil at the high rate than the rate of the which it is being used for the soil. That I am telling that what is salination means, nothing but what is salination means. Consider that little bit of amount of water should be present in the soil, right? If the no water is present in the soil means it get buried the soil. You contain a little bit amount of the soil, water in the soil. Consider that level. Consider it should be the 5 or 6 that percent. If the water content is more, okay, if you get the water content is more, the rate of the water is more, which should not require, then the salination takes place. The process, the method of having the more number of the water in the soil. This is known as the salination. Understood what is salination? And what is this desertification? What is this desertification? This you know. The salination you don't know. The large amount of water that present in the soil is known as the salination. But this one you know, desertification. What is this desertification? What is the meaning of desertification? Okay, if you see that, what is the meaning of desertification means? You think that on one particular time, the land is very enriched with the growing of plants. There is very fertilized area is there. Consider that. Take the example. Take some example like okay, you take the example of KGF only. KGF, not the movie name. Okay, not the movie KGF. Okay, that cola. In the place of cola. Before mining, okay, what they are doing the mining, before mining, that the land is very enriched with to grow the plants, to grow the crop. It is very good. After some time, what happened due to the mining or due to the deforestation takes place. So many concepts, the fertile land become infertile. Okay, due to the mining or due to the deforestation, the fertile land become the infertile. This is known as defertility, desertification. Desertification. This is nothing but desertification. What is desertification? The process of conversion of the fertile land into the infertile land. What is desertification? The process of conversion of fertile land into the infertile land is known as desertification. Example, I said that KGF, you can take the any other where the mining takes place, that you can give the example for the desertification. After that, we are going to discuss with the soil erosion. What is this soil erosion? The soil erosion takes place by so many causes. One is of the soil erosion takes place due to the water. Consider that in the stream of the river, lake or anything is present, what it do? It take away all the soils that present near the lake and rivers, right? That is also the one of the soil erosion takes place due to the presence of the soil near the water or river, lake, like that. All the soils are taken by the river and it put into the one place, right? This is also the one of the soil erosion. And another type, if the moving of the fast wind, consider that if the wind will come, what happen? Large wind will come. All the layer of the soil, the first upper layer of the soil was taken by the wind, right? This way also the soil erosion takes place. So many ways we can see the soil erosion. That means, what is soil erosion means? The eroding of the fertile layer. That means the first layer. The eroding of the fertile layer of the soil. The eroding of the fertile layer of the soil. What is soil erosion? The eroding of the fertile layer of the soil is known as the soil erosion. And not only for the water pollution is there. That's why I'm telling that soil pollution is also there. Due to the throwing of the waste garbages in the soil, it makes that means good level of the garbages like vegetables, pure vegetables or anything like if you put in the soil, it converts into the fertilizer and it increases the level of the soil only. But if you throw the plastics or if you throw the unnecessary things to the soil, it decreases fertility. Did you know that for the full breaking of the plastic, how many years is required? Thousands or years is required to break this amount of plastic. Consider for this amount of the plastic, if you want to completely destroy, it takes several years. Then also it may be erode or it not be erode. Okay, these are some of the concept of the soil. What are the things we discussed in the soil? The one is salinization. Next one is desertification. Next, soil erosion. These are the three important things we are going to discuss in. After that, we are going to discuss with the forest. This is the easiest concept you can understand, right? You can see the forest. How many of you see the forest? Don't tell biological park. Biological park is different, forest is different. Biological park is different. I said that the biological park is different and also the forest is different. If you see that Bannerghatta Park, that is the botanical forest, or we can tell us that it is not the forest, it is the park, biological park. If you want to really see the forest, means you want to go to the inside of the Bannerghatta, the forest is there, right? That is called as the forest. And also Nagarhole forest. That okay, you can see the forest there. So why we are going to discuss with this forest? The forest is a resources for us. Yes, right. The forest is also the one of the main resources for us. Due to the presence of the forest only, the seasons is coming neatly. Due to the presence of the forest in the before years, that means some of the years back, there is reasoning. That means in the summer season, the summer season will come. In the winter, winter, rainy, rainy. Like that the seasons will come. But nowadays what happened? Due to the cutting of forests, due to the cutting of trees, the seasons also changed. In the summer season only the rainy will come. In the rainy, the summer will come. Like this, the season is get affected. And also the forest increases the stability to the soil. Due to the presence of the trees, in the forest, it increases the stability of the soil. That's why if you have the more trees around you, there is no earthquake will come. And also the you didn't get the scarcity of the water, that you will get the good water. Everything will come. And if you see in the forest, what is the meaning of deforestation? Deforestation. De means removal. Forestation means removing of forest. The cutting of forest. Okay. The cutting of forest. What is deforestation means? The cutting of forest to the useful of the humans. The humans are going to build their new houses there, or they are going to build the new farmhouse there, or for the industrial applications they are going to cut the forest. Like that, if they are going to cut the forest for the use of only the humans, that is known as deforestation. That is deforestation. The good forest, if the good forest is cut down into the buried area, that is known as the deforestation. And therefore, the deforestation is means some of the social welfares or some of the persons are interested to make the forest grow also. They are interested to grow the forest. That is the meaning of the afforestation. Deforestation means removing of trees from the forest. Afforestation means growing of trees to the plants. So growing of trees in the forest are known as afforestation. Okay, this is known as the afforestation. There are so many movements will come, right? Tapiko Chaluvali, and so many things are coming to increase the trees in the forest. That is known as the afforestation. These are the two important things you want to know in the forest. And also the one important thing you want to know in the forest is the wildlife. What is that wildlife? The wildlife is also used to increase the quality of the forest. Due to the presence of the wildlife also, we are going to increase the quality of the forest. And the next concept is of the fossil fuels. What are these fossil fuels? This is also the one of the important resources where the fossil fuels will come. It comes in the non-renewable resources. Okay, the fossil fuels will come in the non-renewable resources. That means it can be ended at one time. That are known as the non-renewable resources. Okay, what is that non-renewable resources? Means the resources which have the end. In that the fossil fuels will come. What is this fossil fuels? Example for the fossil fuel resources means coal, petroleum products, and if you see the natural gases, these are the best example for the fossil fuels. Okay, coal, petroleum, these are the concept we are going to see in the fossil fuels. Yeah, one or another time what happens means these fossil fuels also get buried. I said that in the fossil fuels we are going to discuss with the coal, petroleum. We already discussed in that, right? Fossil fuels. Okay, if you see that, if you see the coal and petroleum products, the fossil fuels, you get the coal, petroleum, all the things are getting the fossil fuels. And the last concept of this chapter is the minerals. What are minerals? What are mining? We are going to discuss in the last concept. First of all, what is mining? First, if you discuss with us what is mining means, the process of getting the minerals from the soil. What is mining? The process of getting the minerals from the soil is known as mining. What is mining? The process of getting the minerals from the soil. The process of getting the minerals from the soil is known as the mining. Okay, and what is minerals means? The substance that present in the form of the ore. What are minerals? The substance which get in the form of the ore in the earth crust. The substance which get in the form of the ore in the earth crust are known as the minerals. After getting the minerals, we want to remove the ore and we are going to remove the dust particles in that ore. Everything we want to do it. Okay, this is the last concept. And if you see, best example for the minerals and the earth crust is gold, silver, platinum. These are the some of the concepts, that some of the minerals we are going to see it. Hope you understand the full chapter, the natural resources. No doubts in this concept. And now I am going to say bye to everyone. Bye, students. Okay, I hope you understood everything. Bye, everyone.